And welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada. I hope that all of you are having a fantastic weekend so far. Welcome Yanni, hi Fuang, Chanello, Romelia. Nice to see many members in the class ready to learn. This is a members chat class. Everybody, of course, is welcome to watch. And it's a good idea to watch because this class is an IELTS speaking part 2 cue card, the long part. And of course, as usual, the next class will be IELTS speaking part 3. And speaking part 3 in the IELTS speaking exam continues from speaking part 2. So it's related to the topic of part 2. And in this part 2 topic, we'll be talking about a place to be healthy. So it's a good topic, especially for me. I'm still fighting off this terrible cold or flu from last week. All right, everybody, this lesson is presented to you by aehelp.com. That's academicenglishhelp.com for academic IELTS. That's where you want to be. These are the websites we use for our live classes. They contain our materials, our textbooks, our practice exams. For general IELTS, it's gieltshelp.com. Again, both of those websites have lots of videos, audio materials, and we will use these websites today for interacting with our viewers and our students. So members, get ready. It's a good idea to open up the website in advance just so you're ready to get to work once we reach this point in the class. This is our academic IELTS website here. You click this big red button that's just right above my head there to join our premium IELTS package. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. It doesn't cost much money. We're an IDP affiliate. We're a British Council partner. We're an IELTS test registration center. I'm a certified British Council agent. We have been helping students master the IELTS exam for over 15 years. And we're very proud of that and we're very happy to have helped many students. This is the general IELTS, gieltshelp.com. It's this big red button here to join the premium IELTS package. It's a one-time payment. And when you click those big red buttons, you can use the code LIVE9 for an additional 10% discount off of the cost of the course. The course varies slightly in price depending on which country, which region you're in. But again, it's not very much money and it's well worth it. You've got all the materials you need to get ready for your test in one place. For the apps, visit your app stores, get Academic IELTS Help, General IELTS Help, and for Instagram, check out IELTS_AE Help and GIELTS Help. And for questions, send me an email. Emails are adrian@aehelp.com. That's to get a hold of me. And admin, if you have just a general question, you can send it there as well at aehelp.com. Students, I've created the schedule for the next few days. As you can see, November 12th to the 20th. That's from today all the way up until the 20th. Keeping in mind, of course, that we have daylight savings since Sunday the 6th. So classes are 1 hour later than they were in October and the previous months. Sanantha, that might answer your question. So Sanantha is asking, why did you come late? Sanantha, it's not that I came late. For me, the clock is showing the same 5:30 a.m. that it did a few weeks ago. But we actually moved our clocks back 1 hour here in Canada. So you can see that the classes are scheduled 1 hour later according to Universal Standard Time. So hopefully that answers your question, Sunantha. Otherwise, I need to wake up at 3:30 a.m. and that's just a bit on the early side for me. So this is the time. And we've got speaking part 2, followed by speaking part 3 in about 2 hours. And then tomorrow we have a Discord event. I'll copy the link into the chat so you can note that in your calendar. And that's a free event that will be tomorrow. It will be a full speaking class. And it's really great for all of you who have not seen the IELTS Prep Discord server yet. It's basically a community of IELTS students, and it's supervised by students for students. It's kind of like a student club. Not kind of, it is. It's a student club. It's called IELTS Prep. It has 8,000 members on Discord. And they share all kinds of knowledge about English and the IELTS exam. Then 14, 15, 16, no class. Back on the 17th, Thursday, with speaking part 1, and then lots more classes, including a light hall class. We just released a new video with a Polish candidate. Gives you a good idea of what a band 5 score is on the IELTS exam, and I give an explanation of how to improve to a band 6.5, which is the requirement for most universities and for immigration. You want to get at least 6.5. So check out that video when you have a moment. It's a fun video. It's a good video. It will give you some good insights on what is a band 5 and what you need to do to improve. Now, let's get into our cue card. So part 2, for those of you who are new to the IELTS exam, the IELTS speaking section has 3 parts. The first part takes about 5 minutes. It's a brief introduction, your name, your identification, a few questions on a general topic like food, for example, that we talked about just recently. And then comes part 2. The examiner, via computer or face-to-face in a private room, at this point will say, that is the end of part 1. We will now continue with part 2. For this part, I will show you some questions. Please do not touch the booklet. They will open a little booklet, and the booklet will have the questions that they're asking you. They've got lots of different questions that they can ask you for part 2. So don't try to predict it. That will never work. Okay, you cannot predict your IELTS speaking part 2 cue card. That's just silly. Okay, and if you try to do that, you will get into a situation where you get surprised and then you get frustrated and confused and nervous. So instead of trying to predict it, just prepare for any of the 5 categories that you might need to speak about. That could be a person, a place, an object, an event, or an idea, or sometimes a little bit of a combination, but generally it's one of those 5. So be prepared for one of those kinds of topic areas, and then you'll do just fine as long as you know what you're doing in the 1-minute preparation time and 2-minute speaking time, because that's exactly what you have. You have 1 minute, 60 seconds to prepare your answers, and then you'll have 1 to 2 minutes to speak. The examiner will say you can take notes in the 1-minute preparation time if you wish. I will tell you when to start, when to stop. Talk about a place near your home for improving a person's health. Okay? Your 1-minute preparation time begins now, and then you have 1 minute to prepare. They time you. They have a little stopwatch or a clock that they look at. They have to be very precise because the test is standardized, so they will not give you 1 minute 10 seconds to prepare. They will not give you 2 minutes 30 seconds to speak. They will give you exactly 1 minute to prepare, and they will give you anywhere from 1 to 2 minutes to speak, depending on your response. Okay? All right. So your first step, okay, is to be calm and confident. Don't freak out. You're there to do business, okay? You're there to get a good band score. You're just a number to the examiner. You're not there to wow them with some incredibly new and exciting information. Okay. You're not there to make a new friend with them. You're not there to practice your English with an English teacher. These aren't English teachers. They're examiners. Some of them probably have been English teachers in the past, but there are lots that, no, they've never actually taught English. They're just an examiner, a trained examiner. Okay? So you're there to show your best English, to communicate professionally, just as if you're doing a mini presentation in one of your university classes or in your workplace or office in English to some foreign business partners. Okay? That's what you're there to do. And when you're done, you thank the person and then you go. Of course, there's part 3 before that happens. Creative edge. I see that you have your exam tomorrow, so pay attention and definitely creative edge. Prepare by volunteering a little bit later on when we do this in the chat. Okay, so if you can, try to volunteer. Let me know what name I'm going to be looking for, because I don't think you appear as Creative Edge on our website. So give me the name and then practice one of these responses, okay? All right, so let's read this question. IELTS speaking part 2. Talk about a place near your home, okay? So right away, I'm paying attention to this part here, near your home, for improving, not necessarily fixing, but improving a person's health. Okay. What is this place? Where is this place? Who are the people that go there the most? Why? How does it help improve their health? Okay, you will have 1 to 2 minutes to talk about this topic. You will have 1 minute to prepare what you are going to say. All right. Now, some of you have trained with me for a while, so you know that the first step is you identify that this is an object, or sorry, it's not an object, it's a place, right? Place to improve health. You identify that it's a place, okay? When you know that it's a place, you give the location and the name, right? All right, then what do? Okay, so again, I want you to tell me this because I want this to be so automatic when you go to your IELTS exam. So tomorrow, Creative Edge, when you go to your exam, if you get a place, if you have to talk about a place, I want these ideas to come up in your mind immediately. So this should not take time. This should be like, okay, name of the place, location, next, okay? Yeah, description, appearance, exactly. Good Chen, good Yanni. So the appearance, what does it look like? Okay, just quickly, not a lot there, okay? So name, location, 1 sentence. Appearance, 1 sentence. Okay. That's good, Yanni. Yes, attendees, who goes there? Okay, 1 to 2 sentences. All right, next step, 4. What do? Fuang, that's right, activities. What happens there? This is where you give more sentences, okay? 3 to 4 sentences. All right, and then 5, experience. That's right, Chen. That's the last one. Okay, another 3 to 4 sentences. And I guarantee you, students, that as long as you keep this in mind and pay attention to the questions on the cue card, you will get a good band score. And why is it so important to get a really good score in part 2 and to have a really good answer in part 2? Well, because part 3 is connected, right? So you have to do a good job in part 2, because that will make your life and your answers in part 3 so much better and so much more accurate, right? Okay, so that's why, right? So Domenico, instead of the facilities and services, think about it like appearance and activities, because the appearance will include the concept of facilities, and the activities, of course, includes the concept of services, but with a little bit better perspective, okay? So think about it this way. All right, so we've got the place. Now, the tense here, right? So we're using the present tense because we're speaking in the general. Okay, so this place has been around for a while. People go there too. So the tense here would be present tense, present perfect. All right, because we're giving general information. So sometimes they say talk past, present, future. Yeah, not really necessary, not always. And sometimes it's a bad idea when the question doesn't ask you for it. In this case, the questions are really present perfect. What is this place? Where is this place? Who are the people? How does it? So it's general information, general present tense, right? Okay. Yanni, stay in English, okay? All right, and I love how you guys are already on the next step. That's great. The next step is to think about a few good ideas, right? So this would be, well, somewhere around step 3. Think about at least 2 to 3 good possible choices. Okay, should be easy to talk about. Lots of information. And unique. Okay, so for example, a gym might not be all that unique. Okay, probably a lot of candidates will talk about a gym, and there's nothing wrong with talking about the same idea that the last guy talked about, but you have to be aware that if you had a band 8 or a band 9 candidate walk in before your speaking interview and talk about a gym, it will be really hard for the examiner not to compare you to that student. Does that make sense, everybody? So why? I would probably not, or why I would probably avoid choosing a response that 50 or 60% of candidates talk about. Now, it could go the other way, right? It could be that somebody was in the exam who was a band 4 and tried to talk about a gym, and that will make you sound or seem all that much better. You never know. I just probably myself, I would not risk that, or I would not challenge that. Also, it could be boring for the examiner the 10th time they hear somebody talk about a gym. Again, empathy, right? So put yourself in the place of the examiner. You're sitting there for, 6 hours, and you hear, maybe 20 different candidates talk, and of the 20 candidates, 10 people talk about a gym. And then just imagine you're there in that day, 6 hours long, and somebody comes in at 2 p.m. and they're like, well, a really great place for health and fitness near my area is a gym. I mean, it's hard for the examiner not to be like, oh, not another gym, right? So, especially if it's Friday and they've heard it all week long, right? So, I personally would avoid it. I would go with something unique, something fresh, okay? All right, I think that's good advice. All right, so, and there are so many places for people to improve health. Now, let's think outside the box. So when we think about health, there are 2 perspectives, and this should kind of come into your mind right away. What are the 2 different kinds of fields of health here? Okay, so it's good to know this information for IELTS. It's good to have this information for IELTS. What are the two kinds of health? Before we even get into places for health, when you think about health, and of course, you know, as somebody who studied psychology in university, for me it's easy to think about health in these two ways right away. So what are the two different ways to think about health? Yeah, very good. So Romelia says something that has an impact on physical and mental health. That's right. Yeah. So when we think about health, we think about our mental well-being and our physical well-being. So mental health and physical health. Okay, good. So it's important because now you're like, okay, I have so much more content, so much more context, right? All right, now, when you think about health, what are some other ways to express health? So I just used well-being, right? So health, well-being, Limia things. Okay, we have nutrition and exercise. Sure. Yeah, that's right, Raquia. Fitness. Yeah. So we can say fit, to be fit mentally, to be fit physically. Okay. Very good. All right. Stamina. Good. Endurance. Right? Endurance means how long we can keep going. And stamina, same idea. Okay. Diet as well. Sure. All right. Very good. Very good, students. All right. So now let's think of some ideas. Raquia says yoga class. Sure. Anybody know what we call a place where people go and do yoga? If that's the one we want to pick. I like the one that Yanni said. I think Yanni said basketball court. I think that would be a fantastic choice, by the way, Yanni, a basketball court. I would love to hear you practice that in a few minutes when we do the volunteering. Okay. And then I caught that earlier. That was great. So basketball court. Fuang says Vinhome Central Park. Yeah, I think Fuang that Central Park and the gym would probably be the two most popular answers. So parks and gyms, those are the two that I would probably myself I would avoid. But I like how you're being specific about it. Okay. All right. Romelia, very good. Yeah, it's called a yoga studio. Okay. Yeah, very nice. Yoga studio. Sanantha says a football stadium, maybe, Sanantha? Okay. Sports center, right? It could be one too. Sports centers have lots of different facilities. Careful not to get lost and not to talk about too many ideas. This might have almost too much information for 2 minutes to speak clearly about. You might want to narrow it down like a swimming pool. Okay, that's right. Public swimming pool. Okay, very good. All right, so then you choose, okay? So don't overdo it, don't overthink it. Once you've got 3-4 ideas in your head, you might also think of places that are not so much physical fitness. So you might think about something like nature, health food store, right? So you might have a health food store near your home. A health food store is a place for health, right? It's where people find nutritious foods, vitamins, supplements. You might also have a massage therapy center near your home. You might have a chiropractor near your home. A hospital, Romelia, exactly, right? Could be a place for health, okay? All right. Retha, sometimes the first idea that comes to mind is a good idea, but don't just think of one idea, right? Because you might surprise yourself. You might think of a better idea. All right, so for this one, let's go with the yoga studio. I like the idea. I think yoga studios are great, especially if people don't overdo it. Never overdo any sport. So let's go with the yoga studio this time. Okay. Yoga studio. Sure. So we go, all right, yoga studio. It's probably an answer that some people are saying, but probably not super popular. Fairly easy to talk about. Doesn't require too much English. It's unique. And certainly the examiner might think, oh, hey, that's great. Yeah, yoga studio, definitely. Why not? Yoga, very good for mental, physical health. Yoga has become very popular globally, especially over the last 20 or so years. So it's easy to talk about, easy to understand. It's a good choice. Okay. So now we take some notes. All right. So first, the location and the name of the place, right? So let's keep the card in mind, okay? So talk about a place near your home, okay? So keep that in mind. It has to be near your home. Now, you might have to be imaginative. You might have to be a little bit creative, right? But that's fine, okay? So name and location. Name and location. Let's give it a name. Somebody want to give this yoga studio a name? Give it a name. Here's your chance to advertise your cousin's yoga studio if your cousin has one. Okay? All right, so give this a name. I'm going to call it Prana Yoga Studio until somebody gives me a better one. Oh, Raquia, all right, let's take it. Oliveira Power Yoga. Okay. Oliveira Power Yoga. Sure. Why not? Okay. So that's good. Location. Where is it located? Okay. Second floor of sports center. 5-minute walk. Half kilometer. Okay, from home. But you don't have to write those notes because you should know that. Okay, so it's the Oliveira Power Yoga Studio located on the second floor of a sports center, and it's about a 5-minute walk from my house. It's about 350 meters from my house. Yeah, and Yanni, you could also say a couple of blocks, right? 3 blocks. Okay. Raquia saying 700 steps is a bit weird. Be natural, students. So half kilometer is natural, or saying something like 3 blocks. Okay. Would be natural. So be natural, okay? Don't say things like 700 steps. It's weird. Right? Don't use weird English. It will cost you marks. All right. Okay. Good. So the appearance. You don't need to write appearance, just maybe write A to remind yourself. What's in a yoga studio? I have a picture of it in my head. It's very clear. And you should too. Okay, so okay. Something like that, right? Sure. Yeah. Okay. I would love to go to a yoga studio that has a high ceiling. I don't like it when you feel like the ceiling's coming down, right? Okay. So lots of windows, bright, spacious, hardwood floor, bright space, 20 by 20 meters, lots of space to move around. Yoga mats ready to use, high ceilings. Okay, yeah, hardwood floor. Yani, instead of wooden floor, hardwood floor. Okay. And again, remember what I said, students. So when you're thinking about your speaking part 2, definitely keep this in mind, that for the name and the location, it's just one sentence. You're just giving one quick sentence to create that picture inside the examiner's mind. Okay? Don't spend too much time on this. Spend a little bit more time on what actually happens there. Okay? All right. Now, the attendees. Who goes to this yoga studio? Okay. So who are the people that go to the yoga studio? Okay. Let's be specific. So 3 different instructors, right? All probably trained in different forms of yoga, so you get different kinds of exercise. Okay, health conscious people. Very nice, Amira. Yeah, health conscious people, sure. Raquia says 18 to 35. Okay. All right, sure. Now, this is where you want to keep the card in mind. So when you're taking your notes, students, always check the card, okay? So take a look at the card, glance at the card, okay? When you're at the exam, you want to take a look at the card, okay? All right, so look at the card constantly. Because here, I remembered this, okay? So I remembered that it says, who are the people that go there most? Okay? So, who are the people that go to a yoga studio most? I'm not sure about in your area, but I would say that here in Canada, from what I've seen so far, I mean, I do yoga myself, but I don't go to a studio. But there is actually a yoga studio 1 block from my house. There's a yoga studio very close to my house, and I've never gone to it. And I think I even have like a free trial pass for it. So the people I see going to the yoga studio the most are mostly women from the age of, I would say, 20 to 55. That's kind of the age group and gender that I see go to the yoga studio the most. Okay. All right. Maybe in other places it's different people, different yoga studios, it's maybe different groups of people, but in this yoga studio that's close to my house and the couple that I've seen, that's kind of the most common. Okay. All right. So we've answered that question. Now, activities. Okay. What happens at a yoga studio? So what are the activities? And this is where you want to spend a little bit of time, and this is where you want to focus your notes so that you can give some good information, so that the examiner can give you marks for lexical resource, for coherence, for fluency. So this is where the activities come in. This is, remember where I said 3 to 4 sentences, right? So Yanni says stretching, flexing, meditation. Yes. And there are so many different types of yoga. You can really say just about anything, right? You just have to keep in mind, what is that vocabulary? So what are the words used for exercise? This is where exercise would certainly come in to play. Breathing exercise, Chanel, very good. Yeah, yoga has a lot of focus on the breath, right? Yeah, Rakuya, very good. Many yoga poses, right? Yoga poses. Now, try, if you know the English names, try to use those. Try not to mix in foreign words into your IELTS speaking if possible, okay? So yoga poses, upward dog, downward dog, okay? Cobblers sit, okay, or cobbler's pose. Warrior 1, 2, and 3. Triangle pose. Okay, those are some that I can give you right now. I could give you lots more, but we'll stop there. Okay. So, yeah, okay. So you're doing all of that. So it includes strength training, right? Core exercise. Yoga has lots of core exercises. Core is the middle part of your body. It's the stomach part area of your body. Core exercises. Okay. All right, good. And so beyond the exercise and the meditation, what else happens? I mean, there's a reason why a lot of people like going to a studio and not just doing yoga at home like me. Well, it's not true. I do yoga at the gym, but I do it by myself. So what else? And again, when you're in speaking part 2, visualize, keep an open mind. There's definitely another aspect of the yoga studio, I think, that is important, and it's important for mental health. So here you can kind of look at this information from the perspective of mental health, from the perspective of physical health, right? All right. What else? Yeah, exactly, Mal. Very nice. Good to see you join in, and just in the nick of time with some good information, Mal. So Mal says there's a community of supportive people. So we can say socialization. Okay, socialization would be considered mental health. All right. Good. So, and then the experience, right? So experience, enjoyment, energy, fun, friends, okay? Twice a week. All right, so all of those are the experiences, right? And maybe you've been doing it for the past 4 years. I've been doing yoga for almost 10 years, more than 10 years. Yeah, 10 years. 10 years I've been doing yoga. I just did the math in my head. Okay, great. So now we've got one more step. This would be around step 5. And step 5 is, of course, the first sentence. Now, you're watching me, members, pick up a bit of speed because I know many of you have been in my classes lots and you know what you're doing. So I'm going to be pushing you to give a really good part 2 response today. And I'm going to do it a little bit different today. I'm not going to give you the full answer right away. I'm going to build that out with you. I'm going to get you to volunteer and speak with me. So I'm going to give you the first sentence, or my first sentence, but you can also give first sentences. So step 5 is get your first sentence ready. Before the examiner tells you that your 1 minute preparation time is up. Okay, so before the examiner tells you that it's up, get it ready. This will help your fluency, confidence, okay, and accuracy. All right, so an extremely good place to improve health that is close to my home is Oliveira Power Yoga Studio. Okay. So that's my first sentence. So when the examiner says, okay, your 1 minute preparation time is up, please begin speaking, I can start right away and I can say an extremely good place to improve health, which is close to my home, is Oliveira Power Yoga Studio. Okay? Aretha says cobra pose. Yes, there is the cobra pose. It's the simpler version of the upward facing dog. Okay, so that's what we do, and that's how we start. Now, like I say, I don't want to spoil it for you because I want you to really just feed off of your own thoughts and the notes that we've taken. So the first 1 or 2 people that volunteer, I would like you to think about the yoga studio, think about these notes, and put this information together. I'm going to get right into volunteering. I want to focus lots on practice today, okay? I want to give as many members as possible a chance to answer this Part 2 cue card so we can practice. I can give you a band score estimate, give you some tips on how to improve. Does that sound good? Is everybody in on that? So lots of practice. Yes. Creative Edge, I definitely want to see you in the chat if possible, if you have the right setup. Creative Edge, let me know what name I'm looking for. You said your exam is tomorrow, so let's do it. Okay. Chen says, a very good spot to enhance health, which is near to my house, is Oliveira Power Yoga Studio. Chen, that's fantastic. Okay, students, members, viewers, this is how you get in touch with me in this class to volunteer and answer this cue card. First of all, you go to aehelp.com. That's the website. Let me stick it into the chat. We will use this next class for Part 3. And next class, everybody will be able to join in and answer questions. Now, if we don't have members volunteering in this class, I will take any volunteers. So keep your eye on the prize. Stay in there, okay? Once you go to aehelp.com, you're going to see this page here, okay? On this page, you can join the premium package with the big red button. Okay, one-time payment, doesn't cost a lot, or you can just try it for free with this green button. Absolutely up to you. And then go to your My Student account. In your My Student account, you have tons of goodies, IELTS computer-based practice exams, full interactive course, exam books that you can download, lesson videos. But for right now, we're looking at the student partner speaking button, that blue button that's just above my head there. It says student partner speaking, okay? Click on that button. Make sure that when the browser says, do you want to enable your microphone or allow this website to use your microphone and speakers? Yes, we're speaking to each other. You have to, okay? You accept and start speaking. That disclaimer, that little pop-up that I just clicked accept, it means that you will be polite and you are responsible for your information with each other, okay? Then you get a new window like this where you can see, oh, lovely, just tons of people already. Yanni, I saw you there at the bottom. That's fantastic. Okay, you're going to see me in here as master, all right? You can send me a message by clicking the blue envelope by my handle and writing, I want to volunteer, I want to give this a try, okay? Raquia, I see you in there. Sanantha, I see you in there. Lots of Rumeli, I see you in there, so good. Yanni, I believe you were the first, so let's give Yanni a shot at this. Hi Yanni, are you ready? Okay, and remember everyone, we're sticking with the yoga studio. I think that's a topic everybody can kind of talk about, especially since we did the notes. So let's just stick with that one so that we can really develop a good high level answer. Okay. Creative Edge. Let me see. What is Creative Edge? Creative Edge. What's your handle? I don't see it. Can you give me your handle, Creative Edge, in the chat, and then I'll look for you after Yanni. Okay. Yanni, you can go first for now while I figure out what is Creative Edge's actual handle in here. I don't think it's the same. So I don't see Creative Edge as Creative Edge in here. So Creative Edge, let me know again. Just keep put it into the chat a few times so I can see it go by. Okay, in the YouTube chat, I mean. All right, Yanni, get ready. Hi, Yanni.
Hello, sir.
Hi. How are you?
I'm quite well today. How about you?
I'm good too. Mute YouTube. Can you click the little speaker on YouTube so that we don't get the second audio?
Okay.
All right. Awesome, Yanni. I'm doing good, Yanni. Thanks for asking. Thanks for volunteering.
You're welcome, sir.
Yanni, do you have a plan for when to take the IELTS exam? So what day you're going to do the IELTS, or what date?
It's near the 5th of December, maybe.
5th of December. Okay, so you've got a few weeks, but it's coming up close. Yeah, so good that you're practicing. Yanni, okay, we're going to do this part 2 cue card. I'm going to start you off and I'll keep the notes on the screen so that you can use the notes. Let's go over the cue card question just one more time. Now my screen space is limited, so I can't keep everything in front of you. In the IELTS, it will be a little bit easier because you will see the questions and your notes at the same time. But I have to choose here. So here's the question again. Okay, Yanni, so talk about a place near your home for improving a person's health. What is this place? Where is this place? Who are the people that go there the most and why? Pay attention to that why question. How does it help people improve their health? Okay, so think about those questions while you're using the notes. I'll bring up the notes. Here's the notes here. Okay. And then I will start you off. Are you ready?
Yeah, even though I'm nervous.
That's okay. It's totally fine. You're the first one, and don't worry, I will help you. It's all good. Okay, so that is the end of part 1. We will now continue with part 2. For this part, I will show you some questions. Please do not touch the booklet. You can take notes in the 1-minute time if you wish, and then you will have 1 to 2 minutes to speak. Talk about a place near your home that is good for improving health. Your 1-minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking.
The best place to maintain the people's health, which is close to my home, is the Hawk basketball court.
Okay, whoa. No, stop, Yanni. I'm going to stop you.
Okay.
Yanni, so for the first few volunteers at least, I really want you to just stick to the yoga studio, not the basketball court. I know you want to do that.
Oh.
And if you want to try that, what you can do is after class, you can record your own answer about the basketball court on your phone and then send it to us in an MP3, and I will listen to it and I will give you a band score estimate. But for practice, for the class right now, stick to Oliveira Power Yoga Studio. Okay? All right? So use the notes, stick to this one. Okay? I'll start you off one more time. So,
sir, I think I'm not ready now.
You'll be ready. Try, just have faith in yourself. It's okay. Use the notes that are on the screen. Can you see YouTube? Can you see the notes? Just use those. Use those. So anytime you get stuck, look at the notes and use those to help guide you. Okay? Here we go. So talk about a place near your home that is good for improving health.
Okay. The best place that people can maintain their health is about yoga. It's located in second floor in the sports center, about 5-minute walk from home, and 5 kilometers equal to 3 blocks. And the appearances of the yoga place have lots of ventilation, hardware, and provided a mirror in the side of the room. And the size of the room 20 times 20 meter. There's lots of yoga mattress and a high ceilings. The members of the yoga exercise consists of 3 instructors, health conscious people, and a woman that is about 20 years until 55 years. There's kind of activities in the yoga classes, just like a stretching and a flexing. Furthermore, instead of the flexing and stretching, there's a meditation and yoga poses, just like an upward dog, downward dog, and cobra pose. And this is very affected to the mental health and the physical health because they can enjoy during the class and improving their energy. Moreover, they can make full of friends. Usually they used to attend the class about 2 times a week and 4 years.
Okay, your time is up. I will stop you there. And now I will take back the questions and we will continue with part 3. For this part, I will ask you some more questions related to the topic of part 2. All right, and we can hear a little doggy there in the background. Is that your dog?
Yes, my dog.
All right.
Sorry about the noise.
No, it's not a problem. I think the dog's just trying to join in on the speaking section. They're trying to give their own answer to the cue card. I know a good place for health, the park. I can chase a ball and a frisbee. Okay, so Yanni, that was good. Okay, first of all, I think you did a really good job of just using the notes. So looking at the notes, putting together the words, putting together the sentences, and you came up with a fairly good answer. Okay, I think it would get you definitely a band, maybe a 6. Okay, because you are using a lot of good vocabulary. Some of the grammar is a little bit off. Some of the coherence is a little bit off, a little bit confusing, but overall it was very good. Again, really pay attention to the question, okay? So when you're using your notes, combine the notes with the question. So here you said the members of the yoga consists of 3 instructors, and that was good. You said the members of the yoga studio, okay, a little bit clearer, consist of 3 instructors, health conscious people, and women 20 to 55 years old. Now this is where you want to think about the card. Why? So why is the yoga studio mostly 20 to 55 years old women? What do you think? So here's where I would continue with a connective, and this is what I felt was kind of missing from your response to make it a higher band score. So because, why that group? Why 20 to 55-year-old women? Why do you think that they enjoy going to the yoga studio?
Because their physical health, there's a problem of their physique.
Yeah, sure. And you can make it up. It doesn't have to be the best or perfect answer. So because it is important for their physical health and it's effective exercise for women. For a woman's physique. Okay. So just repeat after me and you'll see how the sentence becomes clearer and more accurate and you're answering the actual question on the cue card, which is very important, okay? So I'm going to repeat this sentence, Yanni, and then copy it after me, okay? So the members of the yoga studio consists of 3 instructors, health conscious people, and mostly, because the question's asking mostly, right? And mostly women 20 to 55 years old, because it is important for their physical and mental health, and it's effective exercise for a woman's physique.
The members of the yoga studio consist of 3 instructors, health conscious people, and mostly women 20 to 55 years old, because it is important for their physical health and it is effective exercise for a woman physique.
Very good. So now you've answered that question on the cue card. You've created a complex sentence. You've included good vocabulary. And now your mark is going up, up, and up. So the trick here, Yanni, and everybody has to be listening here because we're going to take another volunteer very, very soon, is to use the notes, but don't rush through the notes. So you were doing a good job creating sentences with the notes, but don't rush through them. Make sure to pay attention to the cue card as well, and then to create those complex sentences. Okay, Yanni?
Should I focus to the question?
Both. You should focus on the questions and your notes. So you want to focus on both, okay? When you're moving. And you did that really well. So you did focus on the notes really well, but you also want to make sure that you keep the questions in mind. That's why I read those questions at the beginning with you, okay? So when you try the same with a basketball court and record it and send us your recording to the email, then keep that in mind, okay?
All right, sir.
Okay, keep up the good work, Yanni. You're doing fantastic, okay?
And Thank you for a bunch, sir.
You're welcome. And give your dog a pet for me. Give him a little pet on the head. I love dogs. Okay? Bye for now, Yanni. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Cute little doggy jumping in. Yes, that's right, Fong. The dog is trying to join in on the speaking section. He's like, hey, don't leave me out here. This sounds like fun. Somebody get me a headset. Thank you for the thumbs up, Domenico. Yeah, Yanni was a little bit surprised because she wanted to talk about the basketball court, but no, for the first few volunteers at least, we are talking about the yoga studio. Creative Edge, did you let me know what you are, who you are in the chat? When you're ready, let me know, okay? All right. Let's take somebody else. Romelia, we haven't heard from you in a while, so we'll give Romelia a chance at this. Are you ready, Romelia? It's going to be the yoga studio. All right. And I see Raquia in there. And I see we have a new member, Eldho Babu John. And Eldho, I see you in the chat as well. So I will definitely give you a chance in just a few moments, okay? We love to see new members. All right. So stay in there, Eldho. Okay, stay in there. All right. This was Romelia. Here we go. Hi, Romelia.
Hi.
How are you?
Not bad.
Any
A
plans?
bit terrified as usual.
That's okay. Any plans for exercise on the weekend?
Not exactly. It's raining here, and yeah.
It sounds like an excuse, Romelia, not to go outside.
No. I just headed home from the UK, and I've caught a cold.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Like
Yeah.
me, I've been struggling.
British weather. Yeah.
British weather, yes, yes, it is. It's rainy. It's like here. It's rainy where I live
But
too.
yeah, I do my best to make a recovery as soon as possible.
Well, lots of vitamin C then, and just maybe a little bit of light stretching to keep those muscles moving. Okay, Romelia, I will start you off. So here's the question again, okay? Talk about a place near your home for improving a person's health. What is this place? Where is this place? Who are the people that go there the most? Why? How does it help people improve their health? Okay, keep those questions in mind. I will bring up the notes on the screen so you can see it. And again, stick to the yoga studio. You can give it a different name if you want,
Uh,
but stay with the
uh,
yoga studio.
I wanted to talk about my own idea, but
Not right now. For exercise sakes, I just want people to really get a good idea of how to
then I give
talk
up.
about.
Seriously,
Don't give
I'm
up.
not pretty. No, no, no. I can't. I really
Yes, you
can't do this.
can. The
No, I
reason
don't know. I
the
don't
re
have enough vocabulary for a yoga studio.
Yeah, so the reason I'm doing this in this class where I'm kind of pushing some of you out of your comfort zones, okay? So that's what it's called, is pushing you out of your comfort zone, is because one of the biggest issues for a lot of people on the IELTS exam is they really try to preload their and it's not the best way to get to that Band 8, Band 9 level. To get to Band 8, Band 9, you have to as being out of your comfort, especially at your level.
Exactly.
Romelia, especially at your level of English. You have to just challenge yourself with talking about topics that aren't so close to what you know best, because you never know. And the examiners feels that, like they know if somebody's just really trying to preload their English, and they tend not to give very good band scores when they feel that. So I want you to challenge yourself, and it's totally okay if you get stuck. It's okay if you repeat yourself. Don't worry about it. Nobody's judging, okay?
Yes, there are many facilities in my area. One of them is a yoga studio just around the corner, and it's already pretty famous. It's already a while since this studio satisfied the need of the client. It's quite the access. The entrance is quite a good value for the money, so you don't have to pay an arm and a leg to do yoga. To be honest, I was afraid thinking about yoga because I'm not exactly the sporty type of person. I prefer more traditional ways to keep fit, like just jogging or a walk in the park. But I was tempted to try, and I have to admit that I have noticed some improvement in my well-being when it comes about my physical state, but also the way I think, the way the frame of mind, and okay, no, I don't know what to say about it. I don't know anything about yoga, to be honest. I've never tried.
Use the notes. Okay. All right. So, Romelia, good. I will stop you there. Your 2 minutes is up, and I will give you feedback. So, yeah, that would be about a Band 6, which is, of course, lower than your usual Band 7.5. But that's important. It's important to try to talk about topics. So expand your English. Talk about topics that are not close to home. You know, challenge yourself. And I'm glad that you did that. And I'm glad you didn't give up, Romelia. So I think everybody should give at least 2 thumbs up.
Was
to
everything
Romelia.
on the of the cup, and yeah, nothing prepared.
However, the notes were on the screen. So, Romelia, just a couple of classical mistakes that people make during the IELTS exam, and you made those mistakes this time, and we learn from our mistakes. So, I'm very happy that you made these mistakes because you're helping hundreds, even a couple thousand viewers learn from these mistakes, and they make them. A lot of people make these mistakes. First of all, you weren't using the notes. I mean, we have all these lovely notes here in front of us. So the yoga studio has hardwood floors, mirrors on the wall so that we can see our movements. It has lots of yoga mats, so it's comfortable to do yoga. High ceilings, it's spacious, easy to breathe. Mostly women 20 to 55 years old attend this yoga studio because they like to socialize, and it's a good type of exercise for their bodies. So you can use these notes, right? Don't rush. Always focus on what you know, not on what you don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Attendees, yeah,
and
it was a shame I haven't mentioned the.
so pay attention to what you know and what you have for your notes, because it happens quite often to people in the IELTS that they get questions. And even in part 2, you have kind of more of a choice of what to talk about. But in part 1 or part 3, the candidate is often stuck having to answer questions that really they don't like talking about. I'll give you a good example. In 2021, when I did the IELTS exam, my part 1, it was immediate. As soon as I heard the examiner say it, I was like, oh, of course it's a topic that I don't like to talk about. Even as a native English speaker, I'm like, it's totally not it's math. He's like, let's talk about math. Math was my weakest subject in school. I try to stay as far away from it as I can. And part 1, let's talk about math. I was like, oh, how lovely, right? So you have to be ready for it. You have to be ready for it. Okay.
Now that I've lost faith with the band 6, I'm a bit more relaxed. I would have said there are people from all walks of life and the social component of
right. So
attending yoga.
So
I could have developed in 1 minute a bit more. But never mind.
Of course. So
challenge yourself. It's a good lesson to learn.
It is.
Lesson to learn.
It is, Romelia. And immediately, so when they start you off, Romelia, and you know this from previous classes, be specific. So you said, I live in a capital city in the metropolitan area, so it goes without saying that there are many facilities. To me, as the examiner, that is time wasting, because you're not giving me the answer. I don't.
I'm rambling.
Yeah, you're rambling. It's unnecessary information that could be used for a million different kinds of questions. I want you to just start with a great place for health, or to improve health near my house. That's just a short walk, is this yoga studio, right?
Blah, blah, blah.
So you need to get right into it. Okay, it's so important. So again, the lesson here, Romelia, it's good to be out of your comfort zone. It's good to practice English that's not necessarily your cup of tea.
I was taken aback from your yoga.
I did it on purpose. It's my fault. You can blame me, Romelia.
But only one question before I leave. Stands any chance to get in the exam so specific questions?
Absolutely.
Like exactly referring to yoga, not a way of relax or something like this, more general.
For part 2, usually there is a bit of wiggle room. So for part 2, you usually do have the option of thinking a little bit more broadly. Excuse me. But for part 3, no. For part 3, you could get some very specific questions. Yeah. So for part 2, no. Okay. For part 2, you're going to have a little bit of space. But for part 3, it can be very specific. And that's where people really get into trouble, when they're like, oh, but I didn't prepare for that, or oh, that's not my thing, right? So so you have to get ready, okay? Especially for those high band scores, the band 8, band 9, okay?
Yeah.
All right, Romelia, keep it up, practice, and
okay. I'm really curious about part 3 upcoming.
That's coming next class, so stay in there, and I'll look for you. Okay.
Yeah. I'll be there. Okay. Thank you.
Bye, Romelia. You're welcome. Bye. All right. Who was next? Let's give Eldho a chance, because Eldho, I think, was like, I just joined membership. I want to try this. So, Eldho, are you ready? Still yoga. We're still focusing on yoga. I still want to hear more responses on yoga. Thank you for the thumbs up, Domenico, Requia, Yanni. Stay in there, everyone. We've got time. So, Eldho, let's give this a shot. Eldho, you picked up very quickly. Are you there? Can you hear me? I don't hear you. Eldho, since you're new, it's a learning curve. Try the system with somebody else. So reach out to another member potentially. You can maybe try Sanantha or try Romelia. Send them a message and communicate with them to figure out what you need to do to make your system work. You need a good internet connection. Ideally, you want to use a computer, not a phone, for this. And you want to make sure that you've got your microphone and your speaker set up correctly. You want to make sure that you're not using them in multiple pieces of software. You want to make sure you don't have a filter going on in your phone or your computer. Okay, so or an ad blocker potentially that's or a VPN that's potentially interrupting. Okay, so check it out. Check out the setup, and then come back. Right, Raquia, are you ready? I think it was Raquia that came up with the yoga studio initially, I think. So we can all blame her, but I don't know if it was Raquia, so we'll ask her in a second. Okay, Raquia, if you're there, let me know. There you are.
Hello.
Hi, Raquia. How are you?
Yes. I'm great.
You're doing
How about
okay.
you?
I'm doing okay as well. Do I remember correctly that your nickname is Julie?
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much.
Oh, okay. I remembered. Yeah, from last class. All right. Is it okay if I call you Julie?
Yeah, of course. You can say me Julie.
All right. Julie, was yoga studio your idea earlier in the class?
Yeah.
It was
Yes,
your
yes,
idea.
yes.
Yes. So I saw that correctly. Yes.
And
So
the name Olivera Power Yoga is also mine.
okay. So then you can definitely talk about the yoga studio, right?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Okay. So I will start you off. I will keep the notes in front of you. Okay. So use the notes, think about the questions, and connect your answers. Okay. So again, the question was, talk about a place near your home for improving a person's health. What is this place? Where is this place? Who are the people that go there the most and why? And how does it help people improve their health? Okay, I'm going to bring up the notes and then I will start you off. Here we go. So talk about a place near your home that is good for improving people's health. Your 1 minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking.
Okay. A great place to improve health is nearby my house, about half kilometers away. Its name is Olivera Power Yoga, and it's a spacious place just like a 20 to 20 dimension. And there is 3 trainers. There is also high ceiling area and green leaves. So I love to go there and do some yoga poses, just like upward dogs, downward dogs, camel pose, and stretches, flexibilities, and meditation also. And there is mostly going some women's just like who is 20 to 55 years old, because they are suffering from nowadays some hormone disease just like as thyroid, PCOS, PCOD, and sometimes diabetes. So they can go and they can improve their health as well as mental health, because when we are go there, we can meet some new peoples and we can socialize them. We can share our problems and feel free to discuss our problems. So that's why our mental health is also improved as well as our physical health.
Okay, your 2 minutes is up. I'll stop you there. And we will now continue with part 3. That was great. All right. I could not keep up with you with my typing, but I did keep up with you mentally. And I heard every word that you said. And I'm even going to get that last sentence that you said on the screen. That would be about a 6.57, maybe closer to a 7 for that, for sure. Okay. So 7 meaning good English. Okay. Some mistakes here and there, but overall a very good response. You answered the question. You answered all the questions on the cue card. You used your notes. you combine the answers. You make some awkward word choice mistakes and some slightly strange grammatical mistakes, and you want to clean those up. When you clean those up, you're going to get a 758 for sure. Okay, it sounds like a little bit like you're rushing at times, like you're going a little bit too fast, and that's why you're making the mistakes. But overall, you did a really good job. First of all, let me explain what you did really well. You started with a very direct answer. A great place to improve health, that is nearby my home. You're missing the marker there. That is, instead of just is. That is nearby my house, about half a kilometer. And then you repeated near my house, so we take that out. Is called, instead of its name is, just natural, is called Oliveira Yoga Studio. And then you said it's spacious, about 20 by 20 meters. It has high ceilings. And then you said, so I love to go there to do yoga. And then you listed a lot of poses and you said meditation. And then you answered that question on the card, mostly 20 to 55-year-old. You used an awkward plural here. You said women's. Women is an irregular plural, so there's no S on the end here. Okay, it's woman and women. Okay, so women, right? Women, the plural, not women's, but women. Okay, so woman, women, because they are suffering from some disease. Instead of disease, I think a better word here would be ailments. Disease is a little bit strong word to use here. It's a little bit awkward. So ailments. Can you repeat this word after me? And repetition is for everybody. So everybody repeat this word. Ailment. Ailment.
Ailment.
Ailment.
Ailments.
Yeah. And then you said like hormones and diabetes. Yeah, that one's a bit tricky. So careful if you choose some very unique or specific thoughts in part 2. And again, tips are for everybody. So it's not just for Julie here. It's for everybody. So the correct collocation here is hormonal imbalance.
Imbalance.
Okay, or hormonal imbalances. Okay, it's a little bit of a tricky one. So careful when you're in the real IELTS. Don't get yourself into situations where you need some very specific collocation or vocabulary, but the correct collocation here is hormonal imbalances. Okay.
Hormonal imbalances.
So they are suffering from some ailments like hormonal imbalances or diabetes. Okay, try that. They are suffering from some ailments like hormonal imbalances or diabetes.
Okay. They are suffering from some ailments like hormonal imbalances or diabetes.
Okay. And then you said we can meet some people there. Instead of we can, you can say individuals can. Try to avoid the we and the us. Because if you say we, it's like you're telling me, the examiner, that I should go to that yoga studio and meet some people there. So it's a little bit awkward. So whenever you're practicing for your IELTS at home and you're doing the speaking section, try to remove the you, the we, and the us from your speech, okay? All right. Instead, replace it with words like individuals or even better words, all right, that are even more specific, okay? And then another step that you did really well is your closing. You said, so it is a great place to improve our mental and physical health. And that's called a closing or concluding sentence. And that was a really good sentence, Julie. That really nicely kind of encapsulated, finished off your part 2 response. And that let me, the examiner, know, okay, you're done. You're finished. You answered all the questions. It's good. We can move on. So that was really good. I like that. Okay. All right. So keep up the practice, slow it down a bit, record your answers, and check for those mistakes. Especially watch those plural mistakes. Okay. Regular, irregular plurals, and missing words. Okay. That's what you want to pay attention to. All right.
Yes.
Okay, Julie, keep practicing, keep going, keep it up. Thank you so much for volunteering.
Thank you so much. Have
Okay.
a nice day.
You too. Bye for now. All right, that was pretty good. Okay, let's see. Who else do we have in here? Chen, you want to try? Who else do we have for? Oh, there's Creative Edge. Okay, let's give Creative a shot because Creative has got the exam tomorrow. Creative, are you ready? Hopefully you are. Okay. Oh, I don't see you. Creative Edge, where are you? You just disappeared. You've got your exam tomorrow. I want to give you a shot at this. Oh, you just appeared and then disappeared. You appeared again. Are you having connectivity issues? Hopefully not. Let's try this. Creative, are you there? Creative is one of our members and has their exam tomorrow. So we're going to try our best to connect here and give Creative Edge a shot at this. Okay, Creative, here we go. All right, Creative, giving you a call. Hopefully it works. Here we go. I like the support in the chat for Julie. That's fantastic. All right, Creative. Something's not going on right there, which is unfortunate, but don't give up. Maybe try with some other people, okay? So let's see. Any of our other members? Do I see any other members who want to give this a shot? Sanantha, there you are. Okay, let's give Sanantha a chance. Sanantha, are you ready? Okay. Creative, either way, use the skills from the class and the best of luck on your exam tomorrow. Okay. Sanantha, if you're still there, if you're hanging out, let me know. I just sent you a message. Okay, I got something back in another language. Okay, there we go.
Hello,
Hi, Sanantha. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you, sir?
I am doing good. Sanantha, you're in Thailand, right?
Yes,
Is yoga popular in Thailand?
yes, it's also popular
Do
in
you
Thailand, in my city.
do you ever do yoga?
No, I don't like to do yoga, but I like to do exercise, like go for a walk and Arabic dance.
Dance, okay. Well,
Yes,
dance.
I really like to dance.
Okay.
Dancing is
Um,
my favorite.
Okay, well, a dance studio and a yoga studio definitely share a lot of similarities. So I like doing dance as well. I've done dance in the past with an international company called Arthur Murray's Dance Studios. I like doing dance also, and I think dance and yoga have a lot of points in common. So you can adapt one for the other. Okay, Sanantha, would you like to talk about a dance studio or a yoga studio?
Yes, I would like to go for a dance.
Okay, all right. You can almost use the same notes. You just have to change them a bit that we have. So I'll start you off, okay? And then just do your best, connect your ideas, start specific, finish with a closing sentence, and answer all the questions on the card. So here we go. Talk about a place near your home that is good for health. Your 1 minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking.
A wonderful place to improve health, which is close to my apartment, is the Sports Car Center. It's just 10 minutes by car, and it's a good location. It's the center of Leon City, and most people who are work in the Leon City like to be to register for member in this sports club, and the ones popular is a dance dance studio that's really popular exercise that members like to register for dance class. I like I go to do Arabic dance for time a week. So I after work I went there for 2 hours and for Arabic dance in uh, the Arabic room in the second floor close to the yoga room. The room quite vibrant and a lot of windows. People are a tutor who are a guide for dancing is very good chef and high energies. Uh, After class, we also relaxed to reduce tiredness, and for 10 minutes. And these activities so more to help to reduce mental health to raise up the mental health and physical health, and so I can I can get a new friends and be social in sports.
Okay, your 2 minutes is up. I will stop you there. And we will now continue with part 3. Okay, Sanantha, lovely. So good. You even got me to smile
Actually,
a little bit there.
my note is different from
It's all good.
this topic. I'm not the main goal for this. That
Yeah.
is
But it's time to get people out of their comfort zones. You have to be out of your comfort zone a little bit. You have to be able to speak more spontaneously. It's great exercise. So just like with Romelia and some of the other volunteers that we had today, it's good. You're out of your comfort zone, and that's good. You're talking about your dance studio. Your band score would be about a 5.5, mostly because of the fluency, and some of your sentences are a little bit awkward and disjointed. They're not connected. And that's okay. It just takes practice, all right? So you're at that place right now in your English, Sanantha, where you are evolving, you're developing from translating from Thai into English to just thinking in English. And I can tell that your brain is working really hard to not translate, but just think of the English sentence. Think of the English sentence. And that's what it takes. It just takes practice. So once you master this, once you become better at this, these sentences will come more naturally and smoother, okay? So you said a wonderful place to improve health, which is close to my apartment, is the sports center. It is 10 minutes by car. Sure. It is in the center of Leon City. Most people who work in Leon City register and like to be members of this sports club. Okay, it's okay. You want to be more fluent or faster and avoid unnecessary information like that. So I would take the most people who work in Leon City. I would take that out. And then you said it's a popular place and members like to register for dance classes. Not just for dance class, for dance classes. And then you said, I go to do aerobics dance. I go there to do. So you have some missing words in your sentences. Pay attention to that. Aerobic. So I go there to do aerobic dance 4 times a week. After work, I go there for 2 hours for aerobics. And work on, so Sunantha, when you're practicing at home, really work on creating compound and complex sentences. So first of all, work on compound sentences. Compound sentences is when you use and, but, so. It's when you use those coordinating conjunctions. So like after work, I go there for 2 hours for aerobics and I get a really good sweat going. So it helps me to decompress and become physically fit or stay physically fit. Okay, so using a lot of that and, but, so, and so it keeps your sentences moving. Okay, just repeat this sentence after me. Okay. After work, I go there for 2 hours for aerobics and I get a really good sweat going. So it helps me to decompress and stay physically fit. Sunantha? Are you still there? Did I lose you? Sunantha maybe got a phone call, a disturbance in the force. Yeah, Romelia says, break a sweat, work up a sweat. We often say work up a sweat, everybody. Okay, so Sunantha, if you are there, it's not just for Sunantha, it's for everybody. So use these ands and so's. Okay, here we go. After work, I go there for 2 hours for aerobics and I get a really good sweat going. So it helps me to decompress and stay physically fit. Try that sentence. Okay. Connections, everybody. Connections and details are what gets you those high band scores. All right, Sunantha, it sounds like I've lost you, which is totally fine. It happens. Nevertheless, that was really good. Okay, so again, out of your comfort zone. Romelia says, blow off some steam. Yes, that's a good way to say it as well. Okay, that's a good expression. Romelia always adding some good vocabulary into the chat, everybody. Pay attention to that. Students, that's it for part 2 for right now, but I'm back in less than half an hour. Okay, so in 28 minutes, I'm back with part 3. And part 3, we'll be talking about places to improve health and health tourism. Until then, check out your connection on aehelp.com, register an account, paid or free. Okay, either one, up to you. Paid account, you'll be the better for it. Talk to some other students, practice your English, okay? And I'll be back in half an hour to chat with you. We're going to do lots of practice for part 3 in this class coming up. So again, visit the website, aehelp.com. That's what we're using for these live classes. This is the website here. Click this big red button to join the premium package. It's a one-time payment. For general IELTS, it's the green background, this one. I'll be back shortly and we'll talk more about health and health establishments. Take a break, stretch your legs, drink a tea, improve your health. And I'll see you back in 26 minutes. I'm Adrian. I'm signing out from Victoria for now, but I look forward to seeing all of you soon. Bye.